Hi, hello, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name is Dominique. It is the weekend and I honestly have been in such a reading slump. I've barely read as much as I usually do, which is not saying I'm not reading. I am. It's just taking me a long time, and I don't know if that's because I'm trying to step outside of my comfort zone and I haven't been reading purely romance, or if it's just because this year has been super stressful from literally since like December 31st until today. There's been so much going on. But I have a weekend and it's free, and I have books that I'm really excited to be reading. They're both romance, so I'm just gonna try and get through the books this weekend, if not the end of this week. It's usually it's been taking me like 13 to 25 days to read a book. It's been taking like a whole month to read a book. I think the only book I read fairly quickly was Only for the Week by Natasha Bishop. I read that in like 3 days. Ate that up. No crumbs. Gone. So I want to do that this weekend if possible. And I think I can because I'm reading This Could Be Us by Kennedy Ryan. It was just released. And I'm obsessed already. I'm only 60 pages in and I'm already loving the vibe so much. And I was so worried because the book starts with Soledad being married to her husband Edward, and Edward is entirely unlikable, but we figure that out real quick. So I'm reading that, and I'm also listening to the audiobook Sweethand, which is about a baker. Both of these women cook, bake, do it all, which definitely made me start craving sweets. So I just spent the last hour driving around my city to going to various bake shops. Like a bunch of macaroons. I got a chocolate chip cookie croissant. I got a bunch of cupcakes. While I listen to the audiobook, I'm going to eat macaroons and I'm going to play Okay. Okay is like a Turkish rummy. My fiance is Turkish and we did it one time for Christmas at his family's house, and I have been obsessed ever since. I play it online all of the time. Like I can spend literally like 6 hours playing Okay. So I really blow through audiobooks this way, which is probably why I was able to listen to the 15-hour audiobook of Blood Like Magic, because otherwise I don't know if I would have gotten through that book, if I'm being completely honest. But yeah, so let's jump in, start doing that, drink our coffee, and eat our macaroons. So I listened to about an hour of Sweethand, and I have to say I'm really enjoying it. I realized I did not explain what it's about. So this book follows Charisse and Kieran as they kind of help their best friends plan a wedding. They hate each other. Like they have been beefing since they were young. And so planning this wedding together, especially the bachelorette party, is going to be really hard for them. And they keep having run-ins because it's taking place on Trinidad, which is a small island. So they keep running into each other. The narrator is amazing. I love the accent she's doing. And I'm very, very picky about audiobook narrators. Like most of the time I end up not liking their voice, so I can't listen to the audiobook. But so far so good. I'm a huge fan of Enemies to Lovers, and so far I like both characters. Charisse is very funny and strong, and she has a potty mouth and a short temper, and I live for that because I understand when I get riled I'm the exact same way. And Kieran is an asshole. I hate in Enemy to Lovers books when they're supposed to both dislike each other, but the girl just dislikes him because of a misunderstanding, and he literally has no beef with her. So all of their interactions are him just being nice to her and her having an issue with his existence. No, they both dislike each other, and I love Enemies to Lovers like that. I am writing an Enemies to Lovers like that, and I've actually gotten tons of feedback that the guy is too mean because I actually make him go back at her as hard as she goes back at him. But I don't know. I'm taking a break from that because I have the worst luck right now in Okay, so I can't continue to play. I'm just losing my fake money. I don't actually bet with real money, so it's just the money that they give you for like signing on. But I keep losing that, and I'm trying to get like 160,000, so we're done with that for the day. I have to say that all the books that I've been looking forward to reading have all come out around the same time, and I'm really frustrated because I feel like a chicken without their head. Like I was gonna start reading This Could Be Us, and then I remembered that I am about halfway through Lore of the Wild, and I wanted to try and finish Lore of the Wild, and I wanted to try and finish that this weekend as well. And then, of course, A Song for Ricky Wilde by Tia Williams just recently came out, and I need to buy that. And I've been reading the Halfling Saga, so that's the Broken Blade Saga. And the third book just came out in February, so I need to read that. And I don't got enough time to read all this stuff. But we're going to take some time. We're going to read one of these two books. Either This Could Be Us or Lore of the Wild. Whichever feels good after we grab some water and just kind of make the bed. Because it's like 4 p.m. too. So what's the point? But it just makes me feel better. But let's jump into it. Pages in. I don't know what to say other than fuck Edward. Fuck Edward. Fuck Edward. Fuck him. Awful. Awful. Whew. These are the type of books that make me not want to get married. That make me just want to be single for the rest of my life. These are the type of books that scar me. I don't know. This is a romance. I don't know how we're gonna get to the romance part. The worst part about the fucking shit show that this book puts you through is that there is no warning. There is no warning. The back of the book says that her life blows up, that she is betrayed, that her whole perfect plan experience of existence falls apart. But what this woman goes through, it's less than 100 pages. Less than 100 pages. The whole book itself is 384 pages, and I'm less than 100 pages in, and what she has been through, I'm not strong enough. I'm not strong enough. I couldn't have kids, because they would see me fall apart. I wouldn't be, like, making breakfast, and doing carpool, and, like, gymnastics. I wouldn't be doing any of that. No. No. I would be a mess. I would be an absolute... You gotta read it. You have to read it. I can't say anything without giving anything away, but all I have to say, you have to read it. I don't know what my plans were, but they're gone. They're done. Am I reading anything else today? No. Less than 100 pages. Okay, I have to go back to reading. So I am about 220 pages in, and I am enamored. I have to stop because I said I would do some outlining for this millionaire romance I'm writing, and I do have to actually do that. But after that, I'm going right back to the story, and I am reading at least 80 more pages tonight, and then I will finish off the book tomorrow. Like I said, I don't know what else I was planning on doing this weekend or what else I was planning on reading, but that's absolutely not happening. I love Kennedy Ryan romances because they're about so much more than falling in love. They're about self-growth and healing and discovery and finding a space within yourself before you invite somebody else into you. And I think that's such an important story to read, especially about women who are older. And I love that Soledad, the main character, the main female character, she is learning to love herself again. She is rediscovering who she is through this journey before she decides to do that with someone else. So I'm excited to see what happens when she gets to that point. Because, child, she's been put through it. I was stressed for her. I was stressed. But now we're in a better place. I mean, I would hope so since we're more than halfway through the book. But I think what is building in this romance is so much more real and heavy because of the layers that exist in it. So I finished the story. You have to read it. You have to go read it. It's a New York Times bestseller now, and it should be. It is amazing. It is great. I can use all of the words to describe it, but I'm just going to quickly talk about it a little bit. So I've said this before. Kennedy Ryan writes such complex romances. It's about so much more than two people falling in love. And Soledad's story is about falling in love with herself first. If you've ever heard that Eartha Kitt quote where it's like, I am falling in love with myself and I want somebody to share that with me. I want somebody to share me with me. That sums up this book. Soledad gave her everything to her marriage. She gave her heart, her soul, her sweat, her tears, her energy and time, her body. And it did not work out for her. She gave everything she had to that man, and he did not care to hold it or to treasure it or to treat it like the prize that it is. And when he left her life and she had nothing, it taught her that she needed to love herself. She needed to grow and be a person all on her own. She needed to date herself before she ever considered letting somebody else try and be something to her again or to give herself to somebody again. She had to make sure that she was taking care of that person, that she was treasuring and holding everything she had to give first before she tried letting someone else hold it. What I loved about her story is it was not only just self-journey, but it was about community. It was about finding love from sources outside of romance. And I think that as a society, we put so much focus on romantic relationships and finding your partner and your person and them being everything to you. And this book shows that there's a way for a lot of people, including yourself, to be everything to you. And that person loving you is just an extra. It's not the whole world. It's just a slice. And this book displays that perfectly. This book was amazing to read. The gasp I gasped during the reading of this book was absolutely wild. The first 100 pages, roller coaster. The rest of the book, heartwarming. It did so much to me and for me. Like, it just reminded me to make a me list. It reminded me to put some focus on myself and remember that I have to love me before I let anybody else love me. And I'm so excited to just take the time and bask in this story. And I'm just so stuck on this book, I feel like I'm going to have a hangover. I'm just going to have to take the time and bask in this story and just read nothing else for a little bit. Even though this was supposed to get me out of a reading slump, I think it was like, this is amazing. I love reading. This is great. I can't wait to keep reading. And now I'm like, oh, but I'm not going to get the same feels as this book. So I don't know if I'm actually going to be reading. But we'll see. So there's recipes in the back of the book. There's ooey gooey brownies, peace cobbler, strawberry lemon prosecco sangria. I want to try and make these recipes and talk about the romance genre in general and things that I've learned from reading romance books, and I'm just not sure which one I'm going to make. So if you think I should make the ooey gooey brownies, comment that. If you think I should make the peace cobbler, comment that, and I will do that the next time I get paid. But I would love to hear what you thought about this book if you've read it. I know it's fairly new and a lot of people don't buy books as soon as they come out. But if you have, then let me know because I want to talk about this book for days. I want to keep discussing it in depth and break down every little, tidbit of development that happened for the characters to see if we can, just stay in the story a little bit longer. But let's discuss it and let's look forward to Mrs. Ryan's next book because she never misses. She doesn't miss. I've read 3 books from her and all of them have been beautiful. And thank you so much for watching. As much as I say I'm probably not going to read anything else, I look forward to continuing my reading journey this year and trying to dive into as many books as possible. See you in the next one. Bye.